So why does she think that the United Kingdom is being charged more in interest even than Greece?
Chancellor.
Well, the spread on our gilts over...
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Chancellor for that response. This year, interest on debt is expected to total £111 billion. This is 8.3% of total public spending. What are the Chancellor's plans to rebuild confidence in the gilt market, and how confident is she that we won't be reliving the worst bits of the 70s again?
Chancellor.
The best way to make sure that we continue to have the confidence in the gilt markets is to keep the Tories and Liz Truss as far away from running the economy as possible. We have brought stability back to the economy, and there has been 5 cuts in interest rates. This is in sharp contrast to the disaster of Liz Truss and the clown show that we witnessed at the Reform Conference at the weekend. 2 parties who would lose control of spending, push up mortgage costs and inflation. They've done it before, and they would do it all over again.
Sir Desmond Swayne.
So why does she think that the United Kingdom is being charged more in interest even than Greece?
Chancellor.
Well, the spread on our gilts over the central bank rate is actually lower in the UK than it is in Greece. So maybe you want to look again at his evidence. The truth is that we've had 5 cuts in interest rates since this government came to office. We are paying high levels of interest on the debt. The debt was accrued by the party opposite, who destroyed our economy and public services all at once. And we are fixing the mess that they...
Madam Deputy Speaker, and here we are, well over a year into this new administration, this new Labour government, and it is clear that they have fundamentally mismanaged the economy in their first year of office. And what do we see, Madam Deputy Speaker? Borrowing costs up, growth flatlining, taxes rising, and businesses, Madam Deputy Speaker, being absolutely hammered. And to fix this mess to the tune of 50 billion, who knows what it might be, Labour are now threatening to hike taxes on anyone that they haven't already squeezed in submission already. And it is clear, Madam Deputy Speaker, that they are coming after your property. If it wasn't enough for Labour to literally legislate to compulsory purchase your garden, your home, by giving local authorities and Natural England more power through the Planning and Infrastructure Bill to compulsory acquire it, not at market value, but at a disregarded value relating to agricultural property value if it's a farm. If they don't manage to grab it, Madam Deputy Speaker, they're certainly intending on taxing it. And if this tax on your home or your garden wasn't bad enough, Labour are also coming after your business. Through the changes to inheritance tax relief, agricultural property relief and business property relief, this government has destroyed one of the very sole business environments that our communities, our businesses rely on. The ability to pass an asset on to your next generation and be able to earn an income from it. Across my constituency, we've seen soft furniture makers like Fiberline, to brewers, from farmers to hotels, to those involved in the hospitality sector, that have all actively taken the decision to slow the amount of investment that they're willing to put in to the growth of their own businesses. Why? Because of the threats that are coming out from the previous government's budget back in October last year, the Labour government's budget, and the budget that is coming forward down the line. I will give way.
I'm very grateful he's making a powerful speech on this, but he mentioned the hospitality sector. Does he recognise that the government's cruel decision to reduce the discount for business rates discount for the hospitality sector from 75% to 40% doesn't sound too bad? It's actually an increase of tax of 140% on struggling hospitality sector. What does he think impact that has on future investment plans?
Well, my honourable friend makes an absolutely valid point, because many of our family businesses, whether it's in the hospitality sector or others, are actively withholding a level of investment that they want to, their business to grow and thrive. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, I've spoken to many farming businesses, many family businesses within my constituency who have worked out what their BPR or their APR liability is likely to be over a 10-year plan going forward, and therefore holding that level of investment back that they may have to give to the Chancellor and not investing it for the future growth of their business. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, that is not good for the health of the communities and the businesses that we represent. And then there's council tax, Madam Deputy Speaker, with the looming threat that council tax revaluations are going to potentially come down the line, raising the council tax liability on many of those constituents, with properties potentially moving into higher tax bands. For Bradford residents, Madam Deputy Speaker, which includes those residents across Keighley, Ilkley, Sills and the Wirth Valley, we've already had our council tax raised by 10% already, and this is a threat that this Labour government is now putting on, with council tax increasing. And then there is business rate relief being cut, impacting many of our businesses. And, Madam Deputy Speaker, whilst there is threats coming down the line of this revaluation process taking place, I want to raise the case of the Valuation Office. Just this morning I spoke to the Rock family, who have developed Providence Park in Keighley with a huge amount of public funding going into this project, now being told, despite having this project completed in its construction phase in April earlier this year, that the Valuation Office, despite an application being submitted, is not even progressing with providing what the business rate liability will be. So therefore, the Rock family are not able, as easily as they wish, being able to let those business premises. So I ask the Minister sat there, what is he doing right now to put pressure on the Valuation Office to get a grip, to pull their finger out on and get these rates looked at, not just for Providence Park, but for those many businesses up and down the country that are struggling to get a level of understanding from the Valuation Office right now. Madam Deputy Speaker, this debate is about property taxes. We know that this government has an indication that they are going to come for property owners in this budget that's coming down the line. They've indicated that already in the previous budget through the changes to inheritance tax. This government must change course for the health, for the good of the economic prosperity.
Look, mates, this bloke comes out and says, we don't want equality, we want equity, meaning justice should be blind. Fine, fair enough. Who would object? But then he turns around and brings up the issue of foreign criminals, and bam, over 10,000 foreign prisoners. 12%. And what happens? Big ministers, including Starmer, blocked deportations at the time. Isn't that ridiculous? They're trying to protect criminals, not their own citizens. And we're still chained to the European Convention on Human Rights. Tell me, if Britain can't even deport its own criminals, is it an independent country? Don't forget to like and comment on the video so it reaches more people. Now let's get to this taking your home and garden issue. Honestly, it makes your hair stand on end. They package it as the Planning and Infrastructure Bill, give it fancy names, but what they're really doing is this. They're taking your garden, your land, your property, and buying it off you dirt cheap, saying, not at market value, but at agricultural value. Do you know what this reminds me of? The bureaucrats in the Soviet Union who seized the peasants' land and said, it will be better for the state. Come on, we're living in 2025 England, not under the orders of Moscow commissars. And the most tragic part is that those who do this still call themselves liberal Democrats. I ask you, if a farmer cannot pass on the land he has worked for decades to his child, what freedom are we talking about? Write in the comments, which areas do you think this regulation will hit? The countryside or the cities? Look, there's been talk of a blow to the business world. Family businesses, farmers, even furniture manufacturers are halting their investments. Why? Because the government keeps threatening new taxes, new burdens. Friends, this isn't just an economic issue, it's a cultural issue. The spirit of England, as you call it, is family businesses passed down through generations, village pubs, small farms, and Labour is killing that spirit right now. Starmer and his crew want to drain the people's resources and make the country completely dependent on the state. This reminds me not of the old Labour Party, but of a project based on a completely different ideology. And then they come out and say, we brought stability. Yes, you have brought such stability that investors, workers and pensioners are all going under at the same time. Now I ask you, do you trust this Labour government? Write your comments below. If you ask me, their only stability is in raising taxes. If you agree with these views, like and subscribe so that more people hear the truth.